I have a confession to make. I have been influenced countless of times by YouTube mamas when making some impulsive purchases. In my head, I think I'm pretty frugal on pretty much everything, but when it comes to homeschool related stuff, I can't help but wanting to try them all. Before I forget to mention, this video is a collaboration about YouTube Mamas Made Me Buy It, hosted by
Nickie from Blessed Homeschool Mess
and Shawna from Homegrown Homeschool. I am so thankful for these ladies and their friendship, even though they have fed into my homeschool resource addictions. So if you haven't done so already, make sure to check out their channels after this video. But be warned, you may be tempted like I have been. And of course, check out the playlist, which I have linked down below in the description box. Encourage these mamas as they share and admit their impulse purchases influenced by other YouTube mamas. Step 1 on Road to Recovery, admitting your problem. Most of the content I watch on YouTube have to do with homeschooling because I am obsessed with everything about homeschooling. And I never thought I would care about homeschooling or homeschooling stuff until I had children of my own. And then we decided to homeschool them, and then everything has been downhill from there. Step number 2 on Road to Recovery. Figure out a hobby or try something new or different. It's always a good idea to try to regain a sense of self, especially if you're a homeschooling parent, by finding some hobbies of interest that will help you get your mind off of the craziness of homeschooling. Some of my hobbies are singing, and cooking used to be one of my hobbies. But now with the busyness and craziness of life, and with homeschooling and all the things, even cooking has become and feels like a chore. But I guess YouTube content creating has become a hobby, and as well as I have a new hobby that I've taken on. So please stick around because you may see me sharing some new hobbies here. Now let's go ahead and cut to the chase. Step number 3 on Road to Recovery, naming your problems. I'm going to share some items that I could think of that YouTube mamas have influenced me to buy. The first purchase I have here to show you are the Tuttle Twins American History set. And this was definitely a bit of an impulse buy because we certainly did not need another history program because we already had all the resources we were going to use for the school year. And the history program that we're using, we really love. But after seeing Ashley from Gathered and Grounded share about Tuttle Twins having an American history, I couldn't help but want to try it. And then after Ashley, I started seeing other YouTube mamas share about Tuttle Twins American history, and then I was convinced. But honestly, unfortunately, we don't get to the American history very often. And when we do occasionally get to it, it has become a fun audiobook. Next I have 180 Days of Spelling and Word Study. And I was mainly convinced to try this program out by Brittany Olga. I love Brittany's channel, and I thought it would be a good change from using Evan Moore's spelling. But unfortunately, this 180 Days of Spelling hasn't been working out so great for our struggling speller. And of course, at that time when I was getting these books, I got a level 4 and a 5 because I wasn't sure which level to get. So I'm a little bit stuck with, several levels because we even have a kindergarten level, which we've been using, so that's okay. But hopefully one of our other kids will get into 180 Days of Spelling, or I may end up giving them away. But like I said, our kindergartner is using the kindergarten version of the spelling, and it's been working out pretty well. And she also has been using the 180 Days of Social Studies, which has been pretty fun for her. So I plan on making separate videos to share about this program. if you're interested, stick around and please subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss those videos. So of course, naturally, I'm going to show you my next impulse buy being Evan Moore spelling. And I was convinced to try Evan Moore out mainly by Katie from Life in the Mundane. And we used Evan Moore spelling last year for our then 2nd and 4th graders before switching and trying out the 180 Days of Spelling this year. And I was really drawn to this program because of the one-page, clearly laid out 1 page a day setup. But now that we've tried the 180 Days of Spelling, I'm actually contemplating going back to Evan Moore spelling. My next YouTube-inspired purchase is the American Pioneers and Patriots. I can't quite remember which YouTube mama convinced me into buying this one, but I eventually found that it is part of the My Father's World U.S. History Studies. And I was totally sold when I found out that the stories in the book come from the perspective of children who have immigrated to the United States and pretty much established the different pockets of places of our country. And so far, it's pretty much become an occasional read aloud. Because just like the Tuttle Twins, this is another purchase that we weren't quite ready for, but I had to have because of the nature of the book. Next I have From Not Consumed to Every Nation. And this program comes in 2 books that look pretty much just like this. And Ashley from Home Sweet Homeschool convinced me to trying it out. We're not necessarily using this program as it's intended. For instance, we're not reading the Christian heroes then and now as it is scheduled into the program. But this program has been a great launching point for us to explore the various missionaries. So I feel like this program has been a pretty good purchase. Okay, let's see. Next I have Word Roots. Davene from Calm in the Chaos Homeschool convinced me into trying this one out. I was actually looking for something that incorporated more Greek and Latin roots after not being very satisfied with Wordly Wise and Evan Moore's A Word a Day. And so far it's been going pretty well. I actually have a video that I recently posted and shared reviewing this program. So if you are interested, there will be a link down in the description box for you. The next item I have to share with you is my planner. For years, I have been using a wall calendar to jot down commitments. And after watching several homeschooling moms share about needing and having planners, I was so convinced that I need a planner to get organized. And I'm actually really glad that I got this planner for about $6 on Amazon because I hardly use it, even though I'm glad that I have one. And oddly enough, as much as I thought a planner would help me get organized, I hardly ever have time to sit down and fill it out. I was convinced to try these personal organizing bins by Dina from Pursuing Peace. Dina does a great job making these bins work for her family. And I love how she explained that she was able to get all her kids' schoolwork in here and all the materials and pencils and pens and rulers and scissors and everything in here for the kids to get to really easily. And also, they can take this bin anywhere and do school anywhere. But sadly, it wasn't working for our family. But we're trying to make use of the bins anyway in other ways. So our oldest daughter, she would organize her yarn for her crochet and knitting projects. And sometimes I would use these bins for things like busy bags or whatever I could find. A great resource I was convinced to buy is this money guide and activity book called The Kids Know-It-All Guide to Money. And Ashley from Gathered and Grounded again convinced me. And so I got this book and we've had fun with it, learning about all the areas of money, such as investing, saving, income, and entrepreneurship. Next I have Sing a Song of Seasons. I saw several homeschool moms share about this one, and I was convinced that I have to have it. It is massive and heavy, but there's some great content, some great poetry inside with beautiful, beautiful pictures. However, we haven't really had the time to get into it very far, especially in this season, but I think we'll get back into it eventually. My next impulse purchase to show you, I have here to show you, is The Hungry Planet. And Toni from Our Thrifty Homeschool had me and got me into wanting to get this one. It's a great book that helps us to see from a worldwide perspective and allows us to compare what families around the world eat in a week. And you'll see families that are kind of like us, our families in America, where we easily can get food that are packaged and prepared and processed, while you may see other families obtain food where they have no packaging and it's very simple, nothing is processed, while they can spend so little and feed so many people. And I really like this book, but unfortunately right now it isn't getting the attention that it deserves. But eventually I think, especially as the kids get older, they'll probably appreciate it more. This is a great book, Hungry Planet. And of course I have tons of read alouds that I have been convinced by various YouTube mamas that I needed to have. Oops. And my favorite go-to for read alouds are Wendy from Plan, Prep, Pray and Katie from Life in the Mundane. And here are some of the books that they have convinced me to buy. Of course, The Toothpaste Millionaire, since I am a dentist by trade. Fish in a Tree, Song for a Whale, The Sign of the Beaver, One Crazy Summer, Little Pilgrim's Progress. And of course, there's so many more. Our kids get really engaged when it comes to comics. So I was pretty excited when I heard about these comic books by Michelle G on her channel. And so I have here Get to Know Your Universe. And so these are a series of science-related comic books. And then the Show Me History are a series of history-related comic books. And I actually think that the readability of the Get to Know Your Universe is better than the Show Me History, but we still really enjoyed the Abraham Lincoln of the Show Me History. And of course, they're very different topics. One's science, one's history, so it's hard to compare. We have been really enjoying getting to learn just by reading comic books. The next set of items are mainly games because our kids really enjoy games. I find it hard for myself to play the games with them because I don't have the patience, and with everything that's going on and all the juggling that I have to do, I just don't have the time to sit down and play with them, but they enjoy them. So we have a ton of games that I have been convinced to purchase by YouTube mamas. And the first one I have here to show you is Cat Crimes, and Katie from Life in the Mundane convinced me to try this one out. And it's a great game because you can play this one alone. So you have to deduce and try to figure out which of the 6 cats committed the crime by picking a clue card and then pretty much deducing, and then through a process of elimination figuring out which cat committed the crime. So it's a really good game. We really enjoy it. Do any of you feel like that as well, where you just don't have time and patience to sit with your kids and play with them or play games with them? That's why I love about the winter season, because that's when we have the time to kind of just slow down and be able to spend more time playing those games, which I don't always get to do. So I am looking forward to the Christmas break. Okay, the next game I have here to show you is Chicken War. And Katie, again, from Life in the Mundane, had convinced me to try Chicken War out. And so in this game, you can play 2 to 4 players. So in this game, you compete against your opponents to recruit 9 chickens into your army. And each chicken needs to have 2 and no less than 2 or no more than 2 traits in common with the chicken leader. The object of the game is to be the first to complete your army, but also to not give away the identity of your chicken leader. The next game I have here to show you that I was convinced to purchase is called Outfoxed. And Dina from Cultivate is the one who convinced me to try it out. Dina has a channel with several videos that talk about games and board games, and her family loves to get together and play games together. And so you'll find a lot of good games that she recommends on her channel. So the next set of games might be a lot that she has recommended. So in Outfoxed, which I really like about it, even though our family can be quite competitive, is that it is a cooperative game. And that means that we all work together in order to outwit the fox in the game. So we're trying to figure out which of the 16 foxes is the culprit of the crime. And so you can kind of compare it to a simplified version of the game of Clue. So we really like Outfox, so I would really recommend that. Another game inspired by Dina is Ticket to Ride. So this is a fun game where you get to build tracks based on the random cards that you pick from the train deck. And the first person to be able to complete 6 tracks wins. We haven't tried the original version of Ticket to Ride, but this junior version has been really great because even our younger ones have been able to get involved. Dina also convinced me to buy Boggle Jr. Last year when our kindergartner got this game as a gift, it was a little bit of a challenge for her, but she's finally being able to enjoy it. And the object of the game is to be able to match the letters on the picture cards with the letters that you have. So it's a good game for spelling and letter recognition. Spotted is another game that Dina convinced me to buy, and our entire family loves this one. And so it's pretty much a simple pattern recognition game in which you have to match, no matter what size they are, match a symbol that's on the cards. And there are 5 different games that you can play with this game. And no matter what, there's going to be a match somewhere. So this has been a really great game for the entire family, all ages. And it's a great game because it's so small, so you can take it anywhere you go and you travel. Oh, you told them thank you. So this was a good game for traveling. You can take it anywhere. It's small, compact. The next game I have here to show you is Tacos versus Burrito. I don't quite remember who convinced me to buy this one, but this is a great game where you don't know what the end outcome is going to be because it's very unpredictable. You're going to build your taco, and then your opponent can try to steal your entire taco with an order envy. But then you can also counter that by putting down a no bueno card, which means no way, you're not taking my taco. And then there are other cards like the health inspector where you may lose all the toppings that are inside your taco. So in the end, you just don't know what you're gonna get. But this has been a fun, fast-paced game that has brought on lots of excitement and laughter. Okay, let's see. The next game I have here is Zingo. I can't quite remember who convinced me to buy this one, but I'm going to just guess and say probably Dina from Cultivate. But this is a fun game. Our kids love it, and it's basically like an exciting game of bingo. So the Zingo dealer will slide this machine, and 2 little chips will come out. And if either of those chips match the picture on your card, then you want to shout out that item. And then the dealer will give you that chip to put on your card. And whoever can match or get 3 in a row, just like in any bingo game, is the winner. And This is a really fun game. It's fast-paced and it's really exciting. Our kids love it. Okay, it looks like I have 2 more items left to show you. Thank you so much for bearing with me this far. So the next item that YouTube mamas have convinced me to buy is called the Storymatic Kids. So Sarah from Everyday Homeschooler convinced me to try this one out. So last year, our oldest was really into creating stories and storytelling. So I thought that this would be fun for her because it will help to get her creative juices flowing and prompt her to figuring out and writing a story. So for what you do is you choose 2 golden cards. For instance, here I have Big Baby and someone who needs a job. So your subject pretty much will be Big Baby who needs a job. And then you want to choose one of the blue cards, 1 blue card, and then let the plot just grow from there. So I have hiding spot is discovered. So you can imagine how the plot will just grow from just having these cards. Our daughter enjoyed playing this with some of her friends who also love to tell stories. But I was a little disappointed because the price on this is pretty high. It's not the cheapest item and it doesn't get used all that much, but hopefully we will use it more. So I would say it's a little bit on the pricier side. I think I got it for around $24. And right now on Amazon, it may be more like $30. I know I'm missing so many items that YouTube mamas have convinced me to buying, but that will make for an endless video. But I hope you enjoyed seeing what YouTube mamas have convinced me to buy, and hopefully that gave you some ideas as to what you can buy and also items that you should avoid buying. So step number 4, find support. So please share down in the comments what things that you were convinced to buy by YouTube. Support and community are so welcome here. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the playlist and learn and gain some wisdom and ideas from other homeschool moms about what they were convinced to buy. And I'd love for you to follow us here. Have a great holiday season and hope to see you soon. Who is it? Huh? Hi. Is it Susanna? Who could it be? Oh, it's Susanna. Hello. Did you want to join me? Okay, go ahead and join me.
Because we just got it.
Huh? A what? Of the chicken.
Mom.
And also not to give away your leader.
Mama, I want water.
Okay, you want water? Okay. Oh, you want my water. Oh, who's that? Hello. Who is it? Is this Susanna again? Oh, hi.